Thanks to the support as a channel member, Biff Gimbal. Well, what started as a little bit of a wobble has now turned into a pretty poor run of form, but we can turn it all around today. It's FA Cup second round day. We're facing struggling League Two side Fleetwood with a potential really big money spinning third round tie as the prize. Hello and welcome to part 13 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our FA Cup second round tie. Hopefully a third round tie as well. Wouldn't that be great? A second round tie away against League Two Fleetwood, and then hopefully the third round as well. More likely, probably a league game. And we could do with a win in the league because form has gone through the floor. We've only won one of our last 8 in the league. It was that win against Southport. Our only other wins coming in the FA Cup and the FA Trophy. We are tumbling down the league table. We now find ourselves 8 points off the top and actually more focused on not falling out of the playoff spots than getting back to the top. It's not ideal, but we need money more than we need league positions. This situation is not great. Fingers crossed we can beat Fleetwood and get a third round tie away against Manchester United or something. The board have given me a new contract, by the way, so I'm fine regardless. None of this means anything. I've got a contract for at least another year. I suspect I won't get another one if I don't get us promoted by the end of next season. That I don't know. I feel like we should probably be getting promoted this year still. We were pre-season media favourites. We still are the media favourites to win the league. We're underperforming a bit. We need to turn this around and make some money along the way. This is the team for the game against Fleetwood. We've got Blackman in goal, a back four of Murray, Tozer, Drummond and Banks. Ewing at the base of the midfield with Devaney and Morehouse ahead of him. Bramall on the left, Beckham on the right, Evans up front. Fleetwood are down in 17th place in League Two, so they're not having a very good season either. But obviously we're currently in our worst run of form for quite some time. So it's going to take a big effort to drag ourselves past them. But if we do, I think it's like an £80,000 prize just for winning in this round, plus obviously the potential of that big third round tie, which never really gets delivered. We never seem to get the big third round tie, but goodness me, would we like one? It would be very, very welcome. We've got quite a big turnout today, nearly 3,000 people packed into St James Park, which is very nice. I don't think this is our capacity. I think we can fit a little bit more than this in, although looking around the ground, it looks pretty full to me. Maybe we can intimidate Fleetwood. They're playing a flat back 7. They're already pretty intimidated, the bunch of cowards. And we've had the best of these first 15, 20 minutes or so. We look like the team doing all of the creating. But the problem is, as part of this run of iffy form that we've been in, we've developed this really annoying habit. Blackman's left himself so much space here. It's going in there and I don't even want to watch. But we've developed this really annoying habit of not taking our chances. We're massively... That was a demonstration of a team that's in poor form. That's how Football Manager represents it. That's encouraging. But yeah, we seem to be massively underscoring our XG in every match. And we need to stop doing it because it's a problem. But, I mean, so far today, we've not had a shot on target. To be fair, neither team has. This is not the greatest football match in the history of the world at the moment. But if we can score here, it will become it. Evans plays it into Bramall. Bramall looked like he was fouled there, but in actual fact, the Fleetwood player comes away with the ball and has got the opportunity for a bit of a counter-attack here, but decided instead to slow things down. He's let everyone get back into position, and Murray does well to get in and make the tackle. But because it's FM24, he makes the tackle, but the Fleetwood player comes away with the ball anyway. Ewing doing a proper tackle, though, and now Banks can try and get a counter-attack going for us on this right-hand side. He's lumped it into the penalty area looking for Evans. That's not the right ball to play for Evans, but we end up coming away with the ball anyway. Murray now trying to drill it across goal, which is the pass for Evans. Bramall eventually gets it to him, but it's too high. He needs it tap-in level, not head level, and it remains 0-0, and we remain in this situation where neither team has had a shot on target in the entirety of the first half. What an advertisement for the FA Cup. I think Evans is offside here. The goalkeeper's come charging out of his area, though. Bramall with the shot first time. I mean, he had to take it first time. The linesman's flag was up anyway, so I don't think even if it had gone in, it would have been given. And somewhere in amongst all that chaos, we did record our first shot on target in the match. It wasn't worthy of a highlight, but once again, we're massively underperforming our XG. It's what we do constantly. Blackman's now bruised his hand. I think in the circumstances, he stays on the football pitch. I know hands are quite important to goalkeepers, but this FA Cup run, quite important to our bank balance and our season. So he can stay on. And I mean, he's still got another hand. Does he really need two? It's just, it's fussy. He's being fussy. It's only a bruise. I mean, getting taken off a football pitch because of a bruise is pathetic. And you know what else is pathetic? Our new captain, Tozer, giving away a penalty in such an important match. And now we need Blackman to throw his bruised hand in front of the football. And I thought he had. That's Fleetwood's first shot on target in the match from the penalty spot. They score. And that's probably going to be that because we've both been pathetic in this game. And I don't really know what we do to turn things around. We're going attacking. We're going to demand more. And we need a corner or a long throw or something, a penalty. We just need something to gift us a route back into the game. Bramall or a moment of individual brilliance. A team. There's loads of ways we could score. Let's do one of them. Morehouse to Drummond, back to Morehouse again. Morehouse plays it into Beckham, who couldn't quite get in behind his fullback, but then the same fullback doesn't clear it properly. It hits Devaney, but he doesn't control it properly, and it's poor football from both teams constantly. It's like a competition to see who can look the worst in the match engine, and we're winning it, I guess. We're winning the looking bad at football competition. I don't know where the team that was so good in the first half of the season has gone. It's the same players. We just seem to have really gone off the boil, and I think that's the end of our cup run. Their first shot on target from open play. They've just been more clinical than us. They've scored to their XG. We haven't. It's the story that we're seeing time and time again this season, and I don't really know what to do about it. Maybe we go to two up top. We've got Hall and Evans. Maybe we sacrifice Ewing, throw Hall on, and get a second striker in there. He can come in as a target forward. It does mean we're going to have to calm these midfielders down a little bit. They're both going to have to drop back. Oh, crumbs. Did not mean to do that. You go back there. You're going to have to come back a little bit as well, which means you're no longer going to be playing in a position that really suits you. But I guess needs must. We've got a second striker on. We've gone to the 4-2-4. We're abandoning our principles. Can we grab two goals? Seems unlikely. Right, I'm going to take off. I was going to take off Tozer because he's a liability, but those long throws, they are so important. We leave him on. Cabia can come on, and we're also going to bring on Joe Knight to see if he can conjure something up out of midfield. You know what? We're going to leave the midfield as they were. We're going to tell these two. We're basically playing without any cover for our back four now. But needs must. We need at least 2 goals. Knight plays it forward, looking for Hall. Can't find him. Bramall is there to pick up the scraps, though. Plays it back to Devaney. Devaney to Murray. We've come all the way back to our most withdrawn player, but Murray plays it into the area looking for Cabia. It falls to Knight. Surely that's a penalty. He fell over, bless him. He's got a poorly knee. Give him a penalty. Give him 2 goals for it. Devaney's come deep to try and get things going again and finds Murray. Murray to Bramall. Bramall to Evans. Evans, again, frustrating. Physically, very good. Technically, pretty poor. And it's not ideal when we're trying to do goals and stuff. We'd love to do goals, but they're in again. And I think this is probably it. Or is it the inside of the post? Fleetwood are so rubbish. And that's the most frustrating thing. They are such a poor team. But we're in such bad form that we're making them look good. Bramall's going to come off. I'm not bringing on Matt Derbyshire. We must have somebody else who can. Right, Gibbard's going to come on, and we're going to stick Knight out there. Knight can play in that role, I'm sure. And then we'll bring on Mark Little for a bit of experience at the back. We'll go very attacking. It's the FA Cup. Get Blackman forward for a corner. He's what, 6'6"? If Blackman scores, I'll be happy even if we lose. That's the important thing. We just want a goal from our goalkeeper. Do something, you Wallies. Why are we defending corners? We should be going the other way. Oh, this is pathetic. This has not been very good at all. Right, that one's been disallowed. I don't even know what for. They've scored straight from the corner, but it's been disallowed. I mean, fine. Doesn't really benefit us because we could play for the rest of the month and not score a goal in this match. I don't know what's got into us. Hall got so many goals last year and has now stopped. Evans was doing so well earlier in the year and has now stopped. Those bright midfield prospects, Morehouse, Knight, Cabia, who were scoring so many goals early on, they've all stopped. Everything seems to have just stopped. Weirdly, as we've become better on the team cohesion. When we had no team cohesion at all at the start of the year, we were winning every match. Now everyone has got to know each other. It's like they've got to know each other and they didn't like what they found. So now they've gone from not knowing each other to actively disliking each other, it seems. And it is causing one or two problems. Oh, they've cut through us so easy, though. That's why you don't play Tozer at centre-back. He just leaves us so exposed to that because he moves as slow as I do. Now my camera's unfocused on my face. And you know what? I'm just going to leave it like that because I don't want you to see the tears in my eyes. I prefer you to have soft focus, Kev. You can look at the Lego in the background rather than looking at the pathetic performance we've just done in this football match. Oh, good. I'm back. I hoped I would be back. Well, we really need to turn this form around because this is poor. Right, massive match in the league now. We're away against Gloucester, who are up in second place, 10 points ahead of us. We do have a game in hand, but if we were ever serious about being in a title race, and we should have been, the media say we should have been, the comeback has to start here. We're going to give Joe Knight a run of games. He's asked for it. I think it's a fair request. We've talked about everyone stopping scoring. He never really did. He's still on 5 goals from 7 starts and just hasn't had as much of an opportunity as he probably should have got. So Morehouse is going to drop out for a little while. If we could find a way to play the two of them together, that would probably be great. The problem is they both want to play in that attacking Mezzala role, and I don't think we can get away with playing 2 attacking Mezzalas. That's probably asking for trouble. So we're going with Blackman in goal, a back four of Murray, Tozer, Drummond and Banks, Ewing at the base of the midfield, Devaney and Knight ahead of him, Bramall and Beckham then supporting Evans up front. We continue to go with Evans because I think he suits the system better. Hall potentially has got more goals in him, but neither of them are scoring at the moment, so it doesn't really matter which one we play, does it? I think Evans makes the team better, so that's why he gets to stay in, but I don't know. I'd really like to win this match, but I think it's really unlikely, the form we're in. And Gloucester, obviously, in much better form because they've made their way up to second place in the league. And that really emphasises how bad things are getting. We have now scored an own goal. And it's not even a good own goal. It was a rubbish own goal. Oh, for goodness sake. I'm berating them. I've had it with these idiots, and now Bramall's injured, who has been a really important player for us. But I guess nobody's that important when we're losing every match. So Cabby is going to come on. We're going to go attacking. And I mean, hopefully we get back into the game. But it is Gloucester on the attack again. Blackman makes the save. But I mean, actually, I was going to say, but it goes straight back to them. He actually got it clear outside of the area, but it has still ended up back with Gloucester, who are knocking the ball around very comfortably and just seem to be waiting to pick their spot. I think we are slowly approaching the point where we're going to need to do something different tactically. I don't know what that different thing would be. We did look pre-season at the possibility of a 4-2-3-1, which again doesn't get Knight and Morehouse in the team together. If anything, ensures neither of them are playing in their best position. One of them would have to play in that attacking midfield role, and then I guess we drop someone like Devaney back alongside Ewing as a double pivot. I feel like it moves 2 of our most important players in Devaney and either Knight or Morehouse. I feel like all it really does is move them out of position. But sometimes you just have to shock the match engine into, whoa, you're doing something different. And that's sometimes all you need. And it's when Football Manager is at its most gamey. It's when I enjoy it the least, when it becomes less about football decisions and more about game decisions. And I think we might have to just do something and change something just so the game sees that something is being changed and responds with, oh, look, this guy's trying to do something. Let's do him a re-roll on the RNG. Oh, he's on RNG. That's when you know it's going bad. Kev's bringing up RNG. The alternative would be to abandon the idea of Knight and Morehouse entirely and go to a 4-2-4 or a 4-4-2 and go with the two strikers, have Hall and Evans together. But then Knight and Morehouse are arguably our two best players. So we should be looking at ways to get both of them in the team, not play with neither of them. Maybe they need to play out wide. Maybe we need to do like one of those horrible box systems where we have no wingers, but then we've got Beckham and Cabia who've been really, really good, and Bramall. Oh, Evans is in here. Evans has scored. Maybe it's all going to be fine. Maybe we're going to win today. That's 10 for the season for Evans. Maybe it all comes back. A win here against Gloucester and it's all okay again. Oh, my word. That's really good centre forward play from Evans. He's held off his defender really nicely, used his pace, and then it is a really composed finish from him as well. And now we've got a corner. It's Beckham to hit the in-swinger, aiming for goodness knows who. Cabby's there with the follow-up, and we've got another one. We should probably come off attacking now. Positive's fine. We'll be all right drawing here. After Beckham hitting such a good corner, we've gone to Murray for this one for some reason. Murray looking for the outswinger, where again it causes chaos, falls to Evans. Evans shoots from range and we get another corner. We were applying some pressure there. Obviously the third corner wasn't good enough to warrant showing it in a highlight, but we were really starting to apply some pressure. Let's encourage the boys. More of that, please. Once again, we're still underscoring our XG. It's all we've done all season long. I dare say we are still top of the league if we look at the XG table. We're going to bring on Cade Craig, who doesn't get a lot of football these days. That will do for now. Morehouse is obviously there. Hall is there. And we should probably bring one of them on at some point soon. But Evans is suddenly playing well. And I don't want to just write Knight off after 70 minutes when he's been so good when he started. Evans, so close. See, the problem is Hall scores there. There's your argument for playing two up top. Because Evans definitely is needed because of his pace and his positioning and his ability to stretch defences. He does really well. He's done really well there. But do we need Hall for finishing? Or is Evans good enough at finishing? Because he's grabbed his second there. And all of a sudden, Evans has stepped up and decided he's going to single-handedly save us, which is good in the short term. Long term, terrifying because he's only here until February. And we are going to need to figure out a way to win matches without him. But for now, that's a good goal. We take that, please and thank you. And for the first time in forever, we're actually overscoring our XG. What a time to be alive. It's a whole new world here for us. Right, we're going to take off Beckham. Morehouse is going to come on for him and play out on that right-hand side. And he's just going to have to like it. He'll be fine. And just hold on now, lads. Just hold on. Don't do anything stupid. Don't concede. Because this gets us back into a title race. This puts us only 9 points off the top of the table. We're not yet at the halfway point of the season. This is us sending a message to the rest of the league that Brackley are back. Oh, Blackman holds on. Oh, come on, boys. I think we've got a win in us here. After all that negative talk, all we needed was a young Scottish boy to come and do some football goals. Oh, please don't concede now, you plums. We are under a significant amount of pressure. It's the first time in the entire match, really, that Gloucester have really pushed us. They scored early and then kind of set back and let us have the rest of the game. They are now trying to obviously chase an equaliser. They're not going to get it, though, because we've won a football match, a hugely important one. And hopefully that is the return to some decent form for us. Fingers crossed. The poor form was just what we've seen before many times over the years. We were distracted by the FA Cup. The FA Cup is now gone. Let's bring the good form back. Fingers crossed. League table's still not looking too healthy, but we're only 8 points off the top. We're going for it, boys and girls. We're going for it. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.